Welcome everyone, Farmer Cop here. This is episode 47 of No Man's Land, and we are continuing our harvest from last episode. So we're gonna hopefully get our, I'm just gonna hire this guy and see how he does. He didn't do too good in that first row there, but we'll see how he does here. We're gonna hop over to our other harvester who finished this field last episode, and get him, well, first we're gonna get that little bit that he missed down there at the end. Get him working on this field, and then we also have to get all of our silage cut and taken care of today. And then the plan this episode is to plant barley and make flour. Make flour out of that barley. We already have a bunch of barley because we have it for our chickens, but this new barley will be for making into flour and hopefully making us a lot of money. That is the plan there. I think I'll just do a cut up this row here too, just to help kind of separate this out. But that's the benefit of barley. Well, kind of the benefit. It still kind of sucks the way it is anyways, but we go to our crop calendar. We're harvesting oats right here, and then we can plant barley right here. So we will plant it in September once we hit the point where we can plant it, and the next year we'll harvest it. So it's kind of like getting a twofer in a year, but honestly it's just the oats is kind of the bonus crop because we would have had to wait to plant the barley. So it still works out better, I think, this way because we end up getting more crop than we would have if we had just waited to plant barley because we get all this oat for free. And I think all the oats, what we're going to do is we're going to put it into our little factory down there and make it into oatmeal because we make a little bit more off of the oatmeal. And honestly, oatmeal prices are pretty consistent, so we can almost always sell it. So once we're ready to sell it, we can do that. Yeah, so yeah, we're doing a little bit more production type work, but I think that's fine. I think that's good too because it's going to make us a little bit extra cash. We only have 29 grand in the bank. We are still looking to purchase, hopefully in this episode, I hope to buy these two fields. I'm also going to do a lot of forestry work off camera to get some more of that area over there. And if we could put a field in over there, that actually might be the thumbnail if we did that. So that's our goal, is hopefully get a field put in over there and add that to our beautiful farm. Let's get this guy here, and then I think I'll just hire a worker to worry about that. And then, guys, good. We need somewhere to put all of the grain. We could drive around with the truck. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of our option because the tractor we're going to need over there, it's set up currently for forestry, but I will make sure our truck is set up to unload these guys here. He's got the flatbed on because I hauled some lumber last episode. About to say last stream, but we've never streamed this series. So I hook this guy up here. But yeah, so the field I'm talking about making is right over here. So we bought this last time. So I want to finish clearing these trees out and these trees out, and I'm going to sell the beehives off. And then there's a road that goes across here. And then this, I want to make all one big field and connect it to that. I would like to do that before we even handle our barley, because then we can make one big, massive barley field there. So that would be great if I could do that. That's kind of my goal now, but we'll see if it actually is accomplished or not. Honestly, you guys probably know more than I do at this point, because if it is accomplished, that's probably going to be the thumbnail. Almost certainly will be. So we'll kind of see how it goes about it. At some point, I want to buy a back for that guy, because that guy would be great to go around picking up grain out of the harvesters. But for now, this is what we got. So, yeah. Make sure the animals are actually doing good. You guys could use a little bit more food, but I must have just moved your eggs. You guys not? No. You just aren't picking up, you're not registering these eggs, which is okay. We'll just move them out of the way real quick. It'd be nice to sell some eggs off today, too. We're getting a lot over here, which is good. Eggs are and these are crazy pallets, so they're 1,400 liters per pallet, which is actually a pretty good amount for one pallet of an item in Farm Sim. There we go. And we'll grab these two guys here. I'm sure it'll pick up that other pallet at some point, but okay, it's always good to do this every so often anyways. Just to get these out of the way to make sure there's plenty of room for it to keep producing. There we go. I'll move that just over just a touch, just to kind of knock those back into place. There we go. Okay, perfect. Horses, you guys should be getting ready to be sold soon. I can't remember what we sold the other ones for, what their top price is. Is it 5 grand? I want to say it's like 5 grand, which is crazy how different it is from Farming Simulator 19, where you buy them for 5 grand and then you sell them for 50 grand. You can make a lot of money on horses in FS19, that's for sure. So yeah. It's crazy how different they are. But yeah, so I don't think they need any care right now, though. So we'll leave him be. But he's getting full here pretty quick. I'm going to get this forestry stuff. Probably just put it over there by those trees. Is probably what I'll do. Well, actually, no, I'll put it over here since we're near the farmyard, and then whenever we're ready, we can just pick it up and get it going again. But honestly, the main limiter for our forestry is if that guy can intake all the trees that we have, because we have a lot of trees. So I guess we could store some on the trailer or in another area, but it'd be kind of a pain to have to unload or load them or move them around that much. So I'd rather not do that. But if it means us getting that field for barley ready, I mean, if we don't get it for barley, it is what it is. But that would be kind of nice. Let's get this guy ready to go do some mowing. Oop, there we go. Slammed right into it. At least I don't have a crash counter on this series. Here we go. And I will have those all unfold. And we'll head over there, and hopefully it will go across. I had some issues last time I hired a worker up there working with it. But we'll see how it goes this time. I figure the town's big enough now that we can hire as many workers as we probably need, because there's probably plenty of people in town looking for jobs, especially with all the new housing and stuff. I don't know if I'll add anything new to the town this episode. We'll kind of see. I like to focus a lot of my time on our farm and getting our farm upgraded, so that'll probably be our main focus, but we'll see. We might add something in there. Let's get it right about there is probably where I want it. Back it up. Make sure it actually does what it's supposed to do here. I'll supervise him probably for the first row, but yeah, there we go. So yeah, I'll get some silage done. I'll get everything done on the farm, get this oat harvest done. I'll probably bring you back in when it's time to maybe plant some barley, or maybe start doing our new field, putting our new field in there. Maybe we'll do a time lapse, me putting the new field in. So we'll kind of see, but I'll see you guys here in just a bit. All right, so it's not planting season yet, but I just wanted to check in with you guys just because it had been a little while. We got all the oats harvested. We got the grass harvested. I also refertilized it. We have a lot of silage bales already, which is great. We should get another harvest or two out of the silage, which would be really good. And this is not all of our oats here. I already dumped a load into the factory since that's where we're putting it all. Try to get in here without hitting any of this tractor or anything. There we go. I didn't start the factory yet because I wanted to see how much total we got off of our oats in terms of harvest. So we'll put this in here and then we'll take a look at that. Okay, if we go into factories, oatmeal, we got 72,734 liters. Oh, it's now at 2,500 cycles of 1 by 1 every month. It's going to take, how many months is that going to take here? If we just round that to 72,500, to run it down a little bit, divided by 2,500, we're looking at 29 months. So divided by 12, we're at like 2.4 years in game. So it is going to take a while before we get an actual complete return on this investment, but that'll keep this thing busy for an absolute while. And our corn is almost, well, this is also slow. It only goes through 1,000 liters of corn a month. So in our 10 months left, 10.8 months left of that. But we do have a lot of popcorn down here because it produces quite a bit. These are both set to distributing. Shouldn't have anywhere to go. Oatmeal doesn't go anywhere. No, those don't go to any other production. So we're good. Yeah, okay. Planks. Here's the issue. We can only put about 2, maybe 2.5 loads of wood into here before this is going to be full in terms of everything. So we may not be able to do that field yet. And again, you guys know more than I do probably about the field. Let's go park our truck here. So we'll have to see, because we have a lot of trees. We have all those trees, and then that whole cluster that's like the one I'm looking at is from where we're at. We'll go back up to the map here. Is this cluster right here, which is where we're looking at straight over across. So that big cluster right there, dead center of the screen, that big cluster. So those two clusters have to go, which is honestly a boatload of trees. So that could be potentially a bit of an issue for us in terms of everything. And the sawmill I don't think it goes that fast. It goes, yeah, 3, so 25. So it goes 7,500 a month, which is pretty good. So 7,500 a month. However, we have 2 months until we're going to be planting again. To be fair, though, if we go into here, we could plant in October, the barley. So that would give us 1 month, 2 months, 3 months of production from where we're at now, which that actually might be a good idea to plant in maybe like late October, which I know that means we're not going to harvest till late July. But even if we harvested here, there's still nothing else we can plant other than these 3 crops, which we might actually do a round of canola. We'll kind of see if we want to do canola or not, or something else. But canola does pretty good in terms of income. So we will yeah, we'll just kind of have to take a look at that. But I think that's our best plan, is probably to wait as long as we can to plant the barley so we can try to get all that done as quick as possible in terms of getting that. So that had 3 months to run. That'd be 7,500 times 3, which would do 22,500 plus. We currently have 25,000 in there plus 25,000 to that. And I get an average. So that'd probably give us 4 loads, which honestly, that's probably not enough either. But we are working. We are going to make a lot of money off our planks though. So that is at least the good news, because this right here is like 30 grand, maybe not quite 30 grand. Yeah, it's probably like 26 or 27 grand sitting in there. So we are doing really good in terms of we are going to make a lot of money. Furniture would do really good for us too. But again, we talked about how that's kind of unrealistic that little factory or building would be able to produce furniture. So I probably won't do that. But yeah, so I don't know about this episode or not, mostly just because the forestry is going to be slowing us down, which is kind of a real bummer. I guess I could unload it. And I mean, to be fair, a lot of the trees I can just lift by hand and throw into the back of the truck. So I don't have to go get I don't have to go get anything for them. We'll leave these trees out here on the island and everything like that. But yeah, now one thing we could technically do actually is fill this in and make this into a field. I don't really want to do that because I think this kind of adds to the natural beauty. I might even, I did talk about using those bridges. Maybe we do like a stream across here as a kind of an edge to that field, and then put like a little bridge here. That'd be kind of cool, I think. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about that. We could do something like that. Maybe cut the field to here so there's a little bit more maneuverable space, because that kind of looks like I would shoot a river out that way. And then we could put some bridges here and there where we wanted to get across. I just think that'd be kind of a cool look to the farm, I think, personally. There are options. We could shoot it out this way, but that I think would be much more interruptive. We kind of had to go out. Oh, I guess we could have it like run along here. Maybe that's actually less interruptive. That actually we could still shoot it out there, to be honest. But if we do, I just want to take a look real quick now because I'm super curious. Okay, so if we did a river that came out of the top of this and went over to there. So like we could literally make a beeline straight this way and then put a bridge here, have this loop around kind of the base of this mountain. This would be expensive too, by the way. And then just kind of head off this way towards that farm and flood their farm. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, because it could kind of have it come out this way and then kind of just shoot across, straighten out, shoot across here. And then just kind of head and then have it just be an obstacle. And then maybe here it curves back a little bit and then curves out over to the edge of the map. Like that'd be kind of cool. We could still do it this way if we wanted to, but that actually might look a little cooler, and it would be up against this. So we wouldn't have to worry about like the field conflict here with it being up against that, and maybe cutting a little bit back through here. The main thing would be the cost to dig that in. That would be really expensive. So I think it would look great. We may have to see if we can get a grant. Wink, wink. Actually, to be fair, we could fund it. The Bank of Banks and Sprague, if we plant trees, not cut them down, if we plant trees, which actually we have planted trees, so we didn't even collect on this yet. They said 5 grand per tree. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I had to pay for all these. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23. I need to get out of flight mode probably to count these. But they said 5 grand per tree is what I remember. I have it written down, so I'll double check. But we have 1, 2, 3. Can't run this fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Those ones were there. 23, 24, 25. And I don't think these ones count. 25. So 25 trees at 5 grand a tree is what kind of the deal was. That gives us $125,000. I give it we had to pay that, but that money then could go towards everything else. But I'll have to double check on that. But 25 trees. Let me write this down. 25 trees. The Bank of Banks and Sprague. The BB&S, if you will. They offered a special grant to try to put more trees in, which honestly, that would make sense for us to get paid for these because they wanted to go green. That also makes sense why they planted so many daggum trees in that neighborhood over there, which it's kind of crazy the neighborhood's right across the street from our farm, but it doesn't kind of feel like that. This does bother me. I'm going to have to fix that at some point. Definitely, I'm going to have to fix it right now. I can't handle it. I'll just have to build a city for it, I guess. Oh, but that drives me crazy. There we go. That looks so much better. Gosh, it really bothered me. No, say there's another spot I saw up here. There we go. All right. Yeah, that looks pretty good. But yeah, I really like how this turned out, by the way. But oh, I missed a little piece. That's not too bad though. That one doesn't bother me much. Actually, I don't think it costs us anything to do that. But yeah, so that is an option we can explore. But yeah, I'm gonna keep working. I will see you guys in a bit. Hopefully, we're making a field. Maybe if you guys see a time lapse next, you know we're making a field. So we'll kind of see how it goes. But I'll see you guys here in just a bit. All right, so it is the end of October, which means we pretty much have to, at this point, plant our barley. So we're going to get that rolling. That's probably going to happen mostly off camera. Yeah, honestly, it's going to happen pretty much entirely off camera, probably. We're going to get that done, and then that way next year, we can harvest it here, right at the end of July, and then plant, hopefully, probably canola. We'll plant canola that way. And the next year, we will harvest our canola, and then we will just have some space of time where we can just chill, and then we can plant whatever we want next year, or, you know, whatever we want to do. So, or we could even plant canola again. We could keep doing canola over and over and over and over and over again. I'm pretty sure that works. There, early. Yeah, then you'd be able to plant. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that works. So you can continuously do canola if you'd like to, which canola is really, I mean, that maximizes the time your fields are active. So you do get, and you do get a lot of money from canola, to be fair. Like, it's proportionately to what you get for it, you do fairly well in terms of the time you have to spend having it grow. So it's actually worthwhile. But we did not get this all done. I didn't get any more done, actually, because if you look down here at our production, we don't have very much room. That's like maybe a trailer and a half of wood. So I just kind of stopped. I did sell all the planks that we had off, all the full pallets at least. We got $74,200 for all those. And then for all of our trees that we planted up there, I thought it was $5,000 per tree. That was a ridiculous number, and I was going to lower it anyways because I thought it was ridiculous. But it's $5,000 per 10 trees. So $5,000 per 10 trees we planted. We planted 15 up there total. I did call Banks. He did say that since it is a lower number than I thought it was, that he counts those little trees that we planted as well. So we got paid $15,000 for that. There's no limit to that either, which is honestly crazy, at least until Banks decides, or at least the Bank of Joseph and the Bank of Sprague and Banks, or Bank of Banks and Sprague, yeah, Bank of Bank and Sprague decide not to give us any more money for it. But I did buy another chunk of land. Which one did I buy? We have all of these now. I think, was it this one I was trying? I think this one's the one I bought. How's this one doing, actually? Minus 15%. But this one was real cheap. I only bought it for 62 grand is what I paid for it. So we could sell it now and make a, it's almost, I'm tempted to do that. That's $30,000 profit. Just buying and selling land. We could actually make quite a bit of money buying and selling land at some point. But we're not going to worry about that for now. Because honestly, yes, I do agree that land prices do shift. And I like that mod because it kind of makes you want to be smart about how you buy your land. However, us buying and selling land is very similar to, I think, like crop flipping in like base game, where you buy a field that's ready to harvest it, and then sell the field back. So I think it's similar to that. So we're not going to do that. It's a little cheaty, I think. But yeah, and we get a nice, fantastic silage harvest. We now have, I mean, we still have 3 bales in the back of the trailer over there. I think we have 8 rows, and each of these has 24 in them. So it's going to be a good year for silage, and I might, if we get another chance to do like a partial harvest, I might try to do another harvest off of that field. But yeah, hopefully as we get going through the winter time, all those trees will get processed, and then probably in the spring, before we do anything crazy, I want to get these trees cleared out since we own this chunk of land now, and I think this will be the first field we finish, and that way we can get this going. Problem with that is I don't actually want to cut off our silage. We can get that done, at least that top field plowed in next episode, but I don't want to cut off our silage here very much either. Yeah, so that is kind of the issue there if we do that. And then obviously I want to expand this field out, and I've got a lot of work that I want to do. So, and the only reason I'm going to accept the tree money is, well, because we're going to use probably a lot of it to do some landscaping around here and digging up different whatever. But yeah, so to wrap it up, actually, we are going to go for a bit of a drive to wrap up this episode. I added something on to here, and if you're a channel member, you have already seen the video that shows us off if you wanted to look about me building it. It's a little camp area. And I do need to pull up actually the subscriber that's the owner of this here in a second. And actually, I'm going to put a little cut in here so I can read it as we're on our way over, and I can look it up real quick. All right, so as we're driving here, this pickup honestly needs some work as well. But yeah, we're gonna drive out this way. I continued a little bit of the highway as well. So this is Ben Orton's subscriber business. He said, "Hey FC, so I have a business that has been long-standing within the UK. I have set up various holiday and camping parks across the UK and would like to expand this over the Atlantic. I have heard of a great up-and-coming town. Ideally, would start off. We'll turn this, take this turn here in a second. This is that goes around now, and then we're gonna go this way." He said, "Ideally, we would start off small, a few caravans, tents, etc., but would have to have a shop on site. We would need to sell honey, sweets, cakes, etc. Ideally, a plot of land with trees, so our guests get some peace and quiet, keep up the good work." So yes, he did say start off small. I apologize, Ben. I am going to start you off large, so it's going to be great. Now up this way is where we're going to go to the camp and everything like that. But this road's eventually going to connect out this way, and this is a sell point that I had that's a modded sell point. I thought it looked pretty good here on the side of the road, so a little area you can pull off and buy your produce there if you'd like to. So I added that right there. But as we head up here, and Ben called me because he wanted me to come take a look. He heard about me in the area, knows I do a lot of farming and stuff like that, and had some questions, needed some help. So that's the cabin that Ben lives in. So we'll go talk to him here at the very end. Yeah, we'll go talk to him at the very end. But there are a couple of shops out here, people doing some things, some porta potties and stuff like that. And then the road actually is not quite done yet. There's still some trees in the way, as you can see. So he's still working on it. I forgot those trees are there. But yeah, the plan is out to the left here, and these trees, these plots are going to get sold to different people. They're going to get divided up and sold to different people, and people are going to build kind of some cabins out here. And then the plan is to get all these areas filled in with more trees. And then up this way, we'll probably put in some bigger cabins, maybe for rental, or other cabins for sale right here. And then the campground area is kind of up in here, so it's very cool. It's very cool up here. I like it. That's the edge of the map right on the left-hand side, even though it doesn't quite feel like it. We're just going to pull off here and take a look. This looks beautiful in the fall. It looks absolutely amazing. So we're going to go into flight mode just so it's easier for us to take a look around. So this is what I've created, this little metropolis here. So I do want to fill in some of the area around with trees and stuff like that. There's actually a little fish area up here, a little fish farm area, and then they do have a little place you can buy your fish at right here. Well, you can, I guess it's a sell point technically speaking, but you can buy your fish there. But concept, little pond in here. I had to put this in. And by the way, if you're not a member and you wanted to see how I built all this, I'm going to release in a day or two from when this episode comes out a time-lapse build of all of it. The time-lapse build's only like 15 minutes long, and it's just got some music while I get all this stuff built in here. But got a couple of little camp shops here, a little gazebo there. This is kind of like your ranger station, or however you want to look at it, just in case people need help or whatever, and they can keep a lookout for, make sure things are going well. It doesn't look like that up there. It looks like a very relaxing area to hang out. But regardless of that, this little area down here, we got some porta potties, beautiful trees and different stuff in here. And this is not the water from No Man's Land. This is a water plane that is a modded that I placed in here, because No Man's Land I would have had to dig really far down with how high up this portion of the train is. So I decided I didn't want to do that. Over here, we've got some little tent spots you can rent. Little cabin there, a little storage shed there, and then some more tent spots along here, and a little gazebo area, a little beach area. We don't have a sand texture to paint, so I kind of make it like a mud dirt beach. Yep, more tents, and then over here we have a nice little set of smaller cabins you can rent. And then if you wanted to go big, you could get these areas over here, which I did need to put some tables out actually for them in these areas that I kind of cleared out, so I should put those out actually for them at some point. But yeah, so it's not quite done, but it's most of the way done, and there's little parking lots here, and that's that road that goes back there. But yeah, so let's go see, before we wrap up the episode, what Ben's plan is for us. He talked about hiring us to do some work. I'm not sure what work he needs done. It looks like he's pretty well set up here. We're not builders, so we can't build cabins or anything like that, so I think he knows that, though. But if not, we'll break the news to him. But yeah, we'll drive back here and go talk to him. And I do think that he's open for business pretty much. He just has to make sure people are careful driving on this road here, the trees in it. But yeah, let me go talk to him real quick and see kind of what his plans are for us. All right, so I talked to Ben. Great deal. He has heard of Bank Sinatra's and Joseph Sprague's offer for the $5,000 per 10 trees, and I'm looking for a way for us, obviously, to make enough money to be able to build probably like, I actually think I'll probably build it out this way, to build in kind of a nice little river that kind of goes around our farm and some of that sort of stuff to make it nice and nifty through there. And he wants some help putting some trees in. So all this kind of peripheral area, he said that after they get all the cabins built and everything like that, he just wants us to go around kind of the edges. And that's all the way up here. So this is the plots that he works with is, I guess 60 isn't owned technically by him, but this is his area is all through here, 40, 50, and 60. That's Ben Orton's area right here. Again, the cabins are going to get sold off to other people, but what he wants me to do is to make sure we're kind of, they're kind of isolated up here is all this kind of like spare space. He just wants us to take a tree planter and just go to town. And he said he's not going to pay us for it. He said that we're going to cover all the expenses on that, but instead of him accepting the check for the conservation from banks to plant all the trees in the area, that he is going to just let us have all that money. So if we plant, I mean, if we plant 300 trees, 400 trees, if we plant 400 trees, which I think that's a bit much, so maybe 300, 300, that'd be $150,000 if we plant 300, which I think should be enough to get all of our landscaping done that we want to do around our farm. So I think that'd be a really good way for us to go about that. So I'm excited for that. But on that note, we're going to wrap it up. If you guys enjoyed, please drop a like down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button up on the screen to join the Gamer Cop channel, or excuse me, Farmer Cop channel. I've been doing too many recordings of both channels. The Farmer Cop channel. Yeah, guys, this has been Farmer Cop. Thank you guys for coming and watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.